Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about our persuasive essay, which is the next major essay that we're going to be talking about in this class. And this one will be quite a bit different, as this one will be a PowerPoint, which makes it a little bit more exciting, a little bit more engaging, and a lot more visual. So we'll talk about persuasion. So persuasion simply is just an attempt to change someone's mind or to alter their belief or just to get them to think differently about a position that they have. So taking a position requires you guys first to find an arguable topic, so easier than what you think. I tell all of my classes when it comes to arguable topics, one, don't argue faith. If you've ever gotten into an argument with another person about faith, you know how that goes. Faith is deeply personal. It's something that we steer clear of in terms of this course. You don't want to argue taste. Think of arguing with a 2-year-old about enjoying broccoli, or arguing with anyone for that fact about enjoying something that they don't like. That is something you want to steer clear of, and not fact. So avoid arguments where you know something is factual. 2 + 2 is 4. The sky is blue. I mean, you could certainly argue that and say, no, it's aquamarine. Okay, but that's not what we want to do. So deciding upon your stance and then asserting that in a statement of belief, but again, having that belief not relating to faith, not relating to taste, and not relating to clear and inarguable fact. So some effective tools for persuasion. Well, first, you want to do your research. It's really, really important for you to research your topic to make sure that you're going to find enough support to make sure your paper will be well supported and your belief will be well supported. And in fact, I tell students that any belief that you hold, think of a belief that you hold right now, whether you're pro-choice, whether you're anti-choice, whether you're pro-gun control, anti-gun control. Think about that for just 1 second. And now tell me the 3 reasons why you believe that. Can you come up with 3 solid reasons why you believe that? If not, really, you shouldn't be allowed to have that belief. Most people throw around beliefs and think that that's enough. You cannot do that on this paper, and really you shouldn't do it in life either. If you have a belief, you should take the time to do your research and find out specifically why you believe what you do believe. So do your research first. Find a book on your issue, always very helpful with any topic, just because it does help you to see how someone else breaks that topic down. You will be required to find a journal article, which means you will need to use the library databases. If you have questions about how to use the library databases, you can reach out to your librarian here at ICC. There are many helpful student workers that would be more than happy to assist you in finding a journal article if you are unfamiliar with how to do that. So once you have all of your research and you have your information, that's when you want to find out, okay, well, how did the author of my information break down this topic? Are his beliefs similar to mine or her beliefs similar to mine, and that I could potentially work with some of those to help support my own beliefs. So think about what the facts and the opinions and the statistics and the research show, and then use that to analyze the information and create your 3 reasons for your belief. And it will be in this paper that you have an I believe statement followed by 3 solid reasons why you believe it. So, excuse me, you'll have to pardon my phone there. So once you form your belief statement, you will start with the words I believe. So that belief statement will be linked to your reasons with a because clause. So I believe school uniforms are unfair to students because, and then you're going to give the reasons that align with your belief. So all of your belief statements should start the same way. I believe, whatever your topic is good, fair, just, unjust, right, wrong, horrible, whatever opinion or judgment word you have to use or you'd like to use to make sure it is very clear what your belief statement is. In this paper, it is extremely important that you do not use should or must. That changes the style of argument that you're writing. We are writing a position paper, which is simply you stating your beliefs and why you believe them. If you use the word should, or if you use the word must, you are moving into a different style of writing called proposal, where you are calling for action. So by saying someone should do something, you're calling for action. So make sure that your belief statement does not include should, and nowhere in your paper is there a should or a must. And nowhere in your paper is there a call to action. Again, as I said, for every belief you hold, you should be able to produce 3 solid reasons why you believe what you believe. These are linked by that because clause. So for example, I believe that school uniforms are unfair to students because they limit student creativity, they try to enforce a false belief that students are all the same, and they place a huge financial burden on many families. Those are 3 solid reasons that I could use to support my belief that school uniforms are unfair. This is the exact type of model that you would use to create your own belief statement. So then those 3 points that I picked out would actually fall in that order within my paper. So the first thing I'm going to look at is research that talks about how uniforms limit student creativity. The second thing I would look at is that false belief that students are all the same. So I'm going to look at research that talks about school uniforms and creating a false homogeneous society. And then finally, I would look at the financial burden that uniforms place on certain families. You can do this by creating an outline. Start with your weakest argument first. You want to save your strongest argument last. That strongest argument should be the last thing that I read and should be the most compelling. That's because when the reader closes up shop, in terms of reading your argument, you want them to be left with something that really is a good zinger and really nails your belief home. You can start by defining the issue. It's very important to let the audience know what the problem is, who it affects, and what the consequences are. So you are essentially defining the problem. So who does it affect? What are the effects? How is it a problem? Then you're going to describe the issue. Maybe you might go into a little bit of background on how it became an issue. And then you're going to define and elaborate and describe each of your main supporting points. So you will use expert opinions. Maybe you'll bring in some quotes from expert authorities. You'll find some statistics. You'll look for solid data, and you'll find solid research to support your 3 supporting points. So the first paragraph can often be the hardest. I encourage you to write a belief statement first before you start venturing off into writing the paper. And that belief statement becomes your thesis, obviously. So one thing I encourage you to do is find a really good shocking statistic that will grab your reader's attention, and that can be a great place to start. So I've got an example here. So it said in 2008, it was found that 1 in every 3 college students over the age of 18 have had at least one sexually transmitted disease. Note that that is MLA cited. That is a shocking statistic, one that can grab your reader's attention and start to draw them in. It says out of those infected, many students admitted to delaying treatment and sometimes even admitted to knowingly infecting others with their disease. Again, they're kind of explaining this problem. They're explaining how it's a problem and why. They talk about the potential side effects from having an STD. They talk about the cost. They talk about possible devices that could prevent this, but they don't say should, they don't say must. Then they say, I believe that open and available condom distribution at colleges and universities is right. Again, there's your judgment word. Because, there's your link. It will prevent the spread of life-threatening diseases, cut college healthcare costs, and third, even possibly prevent death. Ta-da! You have an introductory paragraph. Always consider what your opposition says, so do some research into opposing viewpoints, and there's actually a site on the library database site called Opposing Viewpoints. If you go alphabetically in the databases and go to O, you will find opposing viewpoints. A lot of those are viewpoint arguments, which will help you kind of also find your own viewpoint and also help you find supporting details. Look at the opposition though. Look at the ones that argue the same, and look at articles that argue oppositely than you and see what they're saying. You can say something like, other people may believe that, and then do a however, and then rebut or refute that. Again, here's an example of a shocking statistic, you know, to start your essay and grab the reader's attention. To refine your essay, I definitely encourage you to use the studio at ICC, use spell check, peer revision, obviously we'll be doing that. Double checking all of your examples, your expert testimony, your stats, and your data, making sure you have a good belief statement and your 3 supporting ideas. If you want as well, we can look at the assignment details, which are found right here on the course site, the very first site. This link will pull up the assignment details that you want to use as you're starting to write your essay. So the persuasive photo essay is a writing assignment that incorporates all aspects of informative and persuasive writing into a visual, living document through PowerPoint. The persuasive photo essay will explore an important social issue and will show the audience the importance of the social issue through powerful images and photographs. So this is your first attempt at writing supported argument using your own beliefs, but the trick is not to rely just on your beliefs alone. So remember, you are going to have to find solid research, solid facts and statistics to argue the subject that you have selected. Remember to stay away from arguments pertaining to faith, religion, and personal taste. Your topics must be approved in advance, so you will be emailing me your topics, and I will give you the due date for that online in email. Your audience must be identified for persuasive essay. Audience must be identified on the title slide by age, gender, and education level. You will give an age range. Gender can be both, male and female, and education level can either be like grade school and above, middle school and above, high school and above, or college and above. Note that your PowerPoint essay must contain 12 to 15 slides with photos, images, captions of 1 to 2 paragraphs, as well as your MLA citations, your in-text citations. You should have a title slide that states your belief statement and your audience. This slide is just text, no images on the title slide. You will need to provide clearly defined supporting arguments, and those will be throughout the PowerPoint and illustrated with carefully chosen images and photos that you can find online. You'll need to have at least 3 slides with a link to a sourced article about your topic. So at least 3 slides should contain a hyperlink that will link me to an article that you used as support. You'll also need a full works cited slide with a full MLA reference information. That does not count in the 12 to 15 slides. So your first steps: think about an issue you want to talk about, you want to address, email me, have it approved, then outline your topic, do your research, find your key supporting points, and then begin to collect your images by searching a few of your key points, your main topic idea, and save them to a USB or save them to your computer as you will begin to create your PowerPoint. We will let you know timeline through email, so please pay attention to timeline. It's very important that we turn things in on time and that you use your groups for peer review wisely.